Hello, this is Eric of Nalbaus and welcome to my review of the Unitek drive station. Mind you, before I ever got this drive, I never even heard of Unitek. It happened that a different brand failed me, but more on that later. Now let's get started. Just a quick update before we start this video. This docking station, it was actually pretty good. In fact, so good I'm getting a second one. The second one that has a single bay that I'll be doing a review on with the micro SD slot and USB ports on it right here. So prepare for that before the end of December. So what are the aspects of this Unitek drive station? Well, you can fit a full-size hard drive in here or the small size SSDs in here, such as this. Now, the drive faces out and just goes into the slot here. If you're wondering what it looks like inside, you got the little slot there, which happens to pair with this size type of slot. This is a standard serial ATA, so it won't work with other connections unless you get it converted to these type slots here. Slide it in, face out, and it doesn't fall out, it just slides right in. So we got the power button on and off here. We've got your power connection that comes with. We got your USB, which comes with a cable just a little over 3 feet long, which is 0.9 something of a meter, which is quite short. So I actually purchased USB-C to C, because this one's particular is C. You can get a type A as well for this exact same design. So the cable I got is 6 feet because I put my computer underneath my desk and run it up here to my computers. And the nice thing, you get any cable you want. Just want to make sure you have one of the modern standard of USB, because not all cables are created equal. And nice thing is Unitek actually even sells cables, which I didn't know that myself. They just happened to actually post a comment, and well, I found out simply about that aspect because I never knew what Unitek was. So one thing that's nice about this, it won't slide around your desk. Rubber feet, venting. Your drive shouldn't get too hot because there is some airflow in here. And if it gets hot, it's a matter of the drive already being a hot situation. So you can actually connect two drives. They run as different drive letters. And in my case, what I actually do is I set it right back here. You don't have to lay it down on your desk. Like say if I take this, look at this freaking mess. What am I gonna do with this? Every time I need it, I have to connect it. It's laying on the ground. A spinning drive, you can actually connect this spinning drive in there. Well, if you drop it, because this lets me more of a chance to drop it, it can actually destroy this drive and it won't last anymore. Then I'll have to get some sort of recovery for my files. So nice thing is set up here, leave it powered on, and I come to it a month later and it works like another drive on your computer. You wouldn't even actually notice the difference. It shows up in a different drive letter. Perfect. On the bottom, we have venting for airflow, as well as rubber feet, just so it grips to your desk and doesn't slide all over the place. Then right here you have LEDs, and so normally you'll have your power on, you'll have your drive A, your first drive, and then your last drive right on this side. And you see those little circles with the filled little pie looking things, and that's to actually say your clone progression when you actually clone your drives. We'll get more on that later. And you're going to connect it through USB cable that comes with it, which happens to be type C cables, this particular one I'm showing right now. So this fits either way, either direction type C. So if you don't have a type C port, this particular docking station, which they have other ones, won't work in your computer. And of course, type C is the newer, faster standard for most USB ports. So if you want something fast, this is the way to go, except the cable itself is only 39 inches, which is about 99 centimeters, which for some people like myself is not quite long enough. Luckily, this cable's not proprietary, so I actually bought a much longer cable, as you can see, and it works absolutely fine. Versus this cable, which you can see is not nearly as long. So now I have to connect this plug here, which is, this particular one is a standard wall plug for Canada, and sadly all standards are different. And now I'm going to plug that in to my outlet. And there's an on-off toggle switch at the back. I turn that on. Not sure if you can hear that slight buzz noise. And you can see those lights flashing on it. So now, my computer, it opened up. So I now have drive E, and so let's see what's on there. Some of my files, and I should have my drive F. Both with files on here, so I'm going to copy the screen so you can see better. So on my drive E, that's, let's see what drive that is. That's my PNY drive. It's actually rated for 480 gigs. And my external backup is my Samsung Pro drive, rated for 2 terabytes. Now, let's see what's on there. Let's delete my Sony ZV-1 for the fun of it. I'm going to delete that file from the drive. And I'm going to go copy it back, why not? So I'll send that to drive F. So you can hear it working right now. And then, let's see, I got blank on drive E, so why don't I send that same file again, which is going to be massive, to drive E in just 1 second. We want to see how fast this is transferring. So we're still actually pretty close to 300 megabytes per second, just shy of that. Now, I'm going to copy that to my drive E. Yes, my drive E. Make sure that's empty. I don't know how this can perform with 2 drives copying, but let's see. Wow. So to give you an idea how fast this is 15 times fast in USB 2. So we slowed down a bit, but you can see between both drives it's still over 150 megabytes per second, so not too bad actually. Now, what if I want to run something while it's actually copying? Okay, let's go to one of these 2 drives. Okay, let's go to the history of VIA, why not? So here is the person that actually is one of the main people at VIA. So far we can see we actually can copy 2 files at a time, 2 different drives. We can actually read the files from the drive while it's copying from 2 drives as well at the same time. So if it's being accessed, it doesn't matter. So this has actually worked for me well so far. Now if you're looking to clone, this can clone a drive. I guess between your drives you press the button here, which one of these pictures will show that right here, clone button. So it copies your one disk to your next disk. So right now we have both the drives out. It's connected to the computer right now as we speak. So what I want to try doing here is actually inserting each drive. So apparently the clone mode works from drive A to copy to drive B. And oops, wrong way around. I can label it out facing out. Okay, so now should connect both drives here, and A and B should show up in a moment. The problem here is I need to actually remove this drive and reinsert it, and then I'll start reading that drive again. Of course, normally you're going to keep your drives in there, but this is something experienced, so that's something I'm going to show you. This is not BIOS review, not a I'm going to make it sound like the best thing on planet Earth, because things do have little bugs about it. Nothing is perfect. I've never reviewed a perfect piece of tech. So anyways, cloning. Now for cloning, this is a little more complicated than I'd expect. So it does say on your little card that comes with this drive, it says put your main drive that has the files in A. Then you copy it to B drive. And of course, B drive has to be equal to or greater than your drive A. The one thing is your drives become the same capacity between one another, and you'll actually lose the capacity of drive B because it's literally cloning the drive. Absolute everything identical information, everything is the same. In fact, you can take someone's drive out and they'd be none the wiser. Once it's cloned, it looks exactly the same capacity, every aspect. So the Unitek drive is compatible, of course, with Windows, Mac operating system, Linux, and it can copy between the drives to clone at up to 485 megabytes per second. Hold for 3 seconds. Blue light on, press again, and now it's working properly because it's supposed to actually go from the first light as it copies and all goes solid till it reaches 100%. So several minutes have passed, we're still getting there, but just to show you it's progressing through, this is actually a large amount of files. So it seems functionally with this drive here, you can actually copy things like a corporate espionage and no one will know the difference. Same drive capacity, it seemed exactly identical. In fact, the computer recognized it as exactly the same drive. This is for pirates. Arrgh. So this drive itself is like an extension of your own computer. You can format, you can actually copy, you can open files where you're copying. In fact, I can edit my entire video through this drive. It's like an extension of your own computer. What if it's a new drive? Well, you can actually perform a new format through disk management of a new computer drive, and it's not a problem. It's like an extension. It all works together. It's actually pretty cool. I didn't expect that. Now, where did I find about this drive? Well, I looked up reviews and such, and here is a little bit about where I found this drive and purchased it. So this is the particular one I purchased myself, November 3rd, 2020, Type-C docking station. I copied over 100 gigabytes of files already on my drive, no errors, wonderful, that's great. And so Type-C of course has your little Type-C connection here, and it comes with this cable that I showed earlier. Now if I go to other options, these are different options you can get with a card reader and USB ports and a drive here. I have not tried these other ones. And there's this one as well, and this one has Type A. Type A, of course, you see the rectangular port right there. So I actually purchased this drive in Amazon, Canada. And of course the reason I got this one is it looks promising from the reviews. And honestly, I never used a docking station before. Heck, I usually connect it through an external drive just like everyone else. What I mean by an external drive is, of course, is this thing, which is kind of messy, and I was like, what if I drop it? And that's a concern, and that concern's been removed. And mind you, it works like another drive letter, and you have two docks, two drives. Doesn't matter if you use one or two. And of course, would I recommend this? Yes, I would. This works wonderful. Mind you, the best aspect of this drive is simply copying, leaving it set up, and using it as an extension to your own computer. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day. Yeah, this is Eric Not Bios. He's got the tech you want to choose. He's got the reviews you don't want to lose. Tells you the straight up truth and shoots it right. Yeah, he is Mr. Right. Yeah.